People talk about conviction like it means belief, like it means holding on to an idea harder than everyone else. Faith, loyalty, identity, tying yourself to something and refusing to let go. I don't think that's what conviction is. At least that's never been how it works for me. Conviction, to me, is probability updating. That's it. The mechanism keeps surviving contact with reality, so the probability is getting higher. That's how I think. I need a structure I can test, a hypothesis I can watch over time, something I can update based on what actually happens instead of what I want to happen. Back in 2016, my view on Litecoin becoming the second Bitcoin chain was a hypothesis nested inside a larger thesis. The larger thesis was that if permissionless settlement demand ever became meaningfully important, one Bitcoin chain would not be enough to absorb all of it at consumer scale verification. If that happened, the market would be forced into substitution and routing. And if the market was forced into routing, coordination would matter more than novelty. That was the mechanism. Litecoin was the candidate I thought was most likely to benefit from that mechanism. At the time, that was just a probability assessment. Maybe 30%, maybe 40%, I don't know exactly, but it felt possible enough to prepare for. So I watched, to see whether the evidence made the hypothesis more or less likely. Did competing chains coordinate durable usage, or did they just pump and fade? Did Litecoin retain behavior after stress windows, or did it bleed to zero? Did the integration lead deepen over time or stay surface level? Did the market keep converging on it during periods where routing actually mattered? That's how conviction changed, through retained evidence. The hypothesis survived contact with reality more times than it failed, and each time it survived, the probability went up slightly from 30% to 35% to 40% to 50%. Not because I started believing harder, because the world kept behaving in ways consistent with the hypothesis, and the same thing happened at the bigger level too. My conviction in the larger parallel systems thesis increased because the surrounding probabilities improved. The cost of staying inside the old system kept rising. I watched that happen over years. The cost of exit kept falling. Tools got better, interfaces got simpler, the complexity tax dropped. The privacy problem got more legible. People started seeing it as real as necessary. The identity bottleneck got more legible. The problem became visible. The potential market for permissionless digital production got larger. The old narrative kept needing more apologies and more patches to stay coherent. All of that is probability movement. And if those things had gone the other way, my conviction would have gone down. If exit stayed permanently too hard, conviction down. If the old system got structurally less conditional, conviction down. If routing never mattered in practice, conviction down. If Litecoin failed to retain any real-world behavior under stress, conviction down. I would have updated, I would have changed my mind. Because the point was never to be right about a belief, the point was to track the probability accurately. So when I say I don't believe in things the way most people do, I mean I hold models and I update them. Conviction is what remains after years of testing doubt against reality. It's what's left when you keep asking, is this still true? And the answer keeps coming back more true than before. So when I say my conviction is high now, I mean that after a decade of watching mechanisms, the world has moved closer to the version that made this outcome more likely. The probability is better now than it used to be. That's why my conviction is stronger now than it used to be. The evidence kept moving in one direction, and I kept updating based on that evidence. That's all conviction is to me. Probability updating over time, watching what happens, adjusting accordingly. And right now, after 10 years of watching, the probability is higher than it's ever been. So my conviction is higher than it's ever been. That's how this works for me. That's how I've stayed with this for a decade, by being willing to be wrong. By tracking the probability honestly, and by updating when the evidence moves. It's been moving in one direction. So I'm still here, in the blue apartment, watching, updating, ready.